Hello, people. Hello, ASB 412. Brenda K. Gucci. All the usual suspects, as usual. Old woman of the hills, just me. Nice to see people. How's everybody doing on this Sunday, right? On this fine Sunday. I am. Hey, Lucia. Yes, I thought I would share this as a picture of Apples in his new happy place. So he likes to be as close to me as possible most of the time. Hey, Cece McManus. Like most dogs. Oh, God, Shirley. Nice to see you. CH, just CH, nice to see you. Canning salsa. Nice. Jealous. Loves fresh salsa. The new place is awesome. I had a bat in my room the other night. I think they call us cityots. People who move from the city to the country because they want to be near nature and then they have no idea what nature is going to do. So I went to bed with my window wide open and I woke up in the middle of the night to use the bathroom. And when I came back upstairs, I just had I'm still not super familiar with the place, so I had my cell phone flashlight on and the light from I didn't see the bat. I saw the shadow of the bat flying around in my bedroom. And then it's quite big. Like it's the floor plan of the whole place is the upstairs loft. So there's plenty of room for it to fly. And I was like, what the fuck? It's 3 a.m. I don't know what to do. So I just went back to bed and hoped for the best. And it was gone in the morning. So yay. And then last night I was more careful. Hey, not me, okay? Hapinosis. Yay, nice to see you. Your dog looks like a bat? Cool. I mean, I've got nothing against bats. I just don't necessarily want them flying around my bedroom. Bats in my belfry, as they say. Yeah, and I don't even know if it's true, but I understand that they carry rabies. Maybe I'm wrong, but anyway, that's Apples' happy place. He likes to be right next to my hip, if at all possible. And so that's where he is most of the time. And that's just the window outside. So he seems very happy here. I left him in the house this morning for about 20 minutes and I went out in the yard and did some laundry and was away from the house for a bit and he didn't bark or anything. So, maybe when he hears me drive away, that will be another thing. But so far he seems very happy here. So so we're going to talk a little bit about Grayson again today. I had kind of done a little, yes, he loves his blankets and his 13-year-old Patter Jack. What's a Patter Jack? I'm assuming it's a Jack Russell cross, but I don't know what the patter part is. Apples is my best guess is that he's Beagle Italian Greyhound. Brenda K, you telling me how to be careful about bats? Hey, Inner Psychic. Wet Monday morning here, so staying in bed to watch. Yeah, it's wet here. We had a big thunderstorm last night. Very exciting. Like a big one. And so I don't have to worry about my plants that are sitting still in Vancouver waiting for me to come back and get them. So yeah, he's a real cutie pie. He has got the cutest little face. I don't know. He gets away with basically everything, but a Jack Russell and a Patterdale Terrier. Okay, I'll have to look up a Patterdale Terrier. I have always been fond of Jack Russells. Where are you, ASB 412? Yeah, there's trees down in Vancouver I saw on the news. And people commenting on Twitter, or not Twitter, on Blue Sky about the big storm in Vancouver. Yeah, he is adorable. He gets away with absolutely everything. And my landlady, so the other fun thing I discovered, my landlady, as it turns out, she invited me over to her house the other day to bring the dog in. She has a dog, so the dogs could meet and everybody could sort of be copacetic with each other. And I was walking around her house, which has got all this beautiful art in it, some of which is pottery sculpture stuff. And I said, I was commenting on the beautiful paintings. And I said, my sister's an artist. She's a sculptor. And she says, "Oh, what's your sister? What's her name?" And I said, "Louise Selecki Weir," thinking. And she's like, "Oh, I went to school with her. She was in my class. We graduated together." And I texted my sister and said, "Hey, my landlady is Colleen and blah, blah, blah." And she says, "Oh, how nice. You couldn't ask for a sweeter natured person for a landlady than Colleen." So again, with the good omens and all the rest of it about being here. So canning from the garden sounds so nice. Yeah, so the reason also I put apples up here was to just preface something that I'm about to show you guys. So Apples is a rescue dog, and he came to me. I lived for a little while in a small town in BC called Hope, and I got Apples from a rescue there called Our Last Hope. And on his I already had a name picked out for him. I had my next dog name picked out for many years by the time I got him, and so I already knew he was going to be called Apples. And when I got the adoption papers, I discovered that he came from Apple Valley in California. So that was another one of those moments of feeling like things were meant to be. But then the Apple Valley came up today when I was Googling various things. So hey, Maury, I was Googling Carolina Hurtado. Nice to see you. Yeah, small world, right? I mean, it's BC, it's Vancouver and everything. It's not super far away or anything, but still, what are the odds that the one person? Anyway, so I was Googling Grayson's brother today just because I wanted to sort of catch up on what had happened. And I came across a court case that there would be a hearing on Wednesday next week. If our friend, if he had not passed away. So I just thought I would share that because it's kind of interesting. Apples, there we go. So I don't know if you guys can see that. You can, yes. So yeah, so it looks like I'm going to go to the bottom because that's the dates start in the bottom. So this is family court, whatever case number, blah, 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 Jackson Yohr v. Cecilia Libuse. So I assume that Jackson is the plaintiff, right? And Cecilia is the defendant because that's the way these things go. And on 7/16, so July 16th of this year, it looks like Jackson Yohr put in an application for a domestic violence restraining order. And he filed a notice of hearing. So if you go to the top, these are filed by. The names is filed by, file type, and filed by. So all of them go up to here. So temporary restraining order filed and granted on 7/16, the same day. The certificate of assignment is received. The documents are placed on file. I can't get a hold of these documents, but so the DV 130 mentioned here is actually the restraining order. And it's a temporary one, so it's pending the hearing that is supposed to take place on the 26th of August. And then, so Cecilia then sends in a DV 120, which is the response to the allegations. She does that on the 31st. They want to continue the hearing, blah, blah, blah. These are the main points of things. And then so it looks like Cecilia filed a counter restraining order, and it was granted in part on the 3rd of August. So what all of this means, I could not say. But when you go over to the hearings tab, you can see that they had the hearing on the 16th to establish the jurisdiction. And then these hearings, which were supposed to be scheduled for 8/19, didn't happen. for obvious reasons. And then there's the hearing on domestic abuse, violence filed by Cecilia Labuse is supposed to happen on 8/26, but presumably that's not going to happen either. So again, I don't know what any of this means. I have not been able to access the actual documents. I found a website online that was like, oh, free trial, download the docket. And so I signed up for their free trial, and they didn't have any documents. All they have is everything that I could find for free on the court website. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to gain access to those. I just found this stuff today. I will continue to see if there's anything I can do. I'll contact the court, see if I can find out. But, oh, hang on a second. Maybe I got something here. Hang on. Sorry. Things are happening over here. Oh! Yeah, it looks like, oh, okay. Yeah, this is.
I think I got it. Okay.
Sorry. Oh, I don't want that. Yeah, sorry. Okay, so yeah, all I've got is the what's available publicly. So, hey, Artmans, I haven't forgotten you. I've just still been very, very, I don't know. I can't seem to shake off this tiredness. Today I managed to go to the grocery store and walk the dog and Google some stuff about Jackson. And that's in 9 hours. So everybody just needs to bear with me as I recover from all of this. Anyway, so I just wanted to share that. I don't know what it means. I could surmise a few things. There's if you notice in this one here, the hearing on this hearing that was not held was RE firearm compliance. And I don't know who is not complying with their firearm whatevers. So something's going on here. I did find this person. This is why I'm talking about Apple Valley. So the woman, did I share this right page yet? No. The woman, Cecilia Labuse, it's an unusual name, and I couldn't find any other. Apple Valley is very close to Big Bear, which is where Jackson lived. And it seems like this must be the person. So she's 49 and she lives in Apple Valley. And, I could get a full background report if I wanted to pay for it, but I don't really. But maybe I'll find out about the court documents. Anyway, I just wanted to share that little bit of information. I'm not sure what any of it means, given Grayson's involvement in applying for and writing a declaration, or more than one declaration, for a temporary restraining order that was a scam and a lie and an attempt to manipulate and control the narrative. I think it's fair enough to sort of wonder what was going on there. It does look like Jackson is the one who filed it, but I don't have any sure knowledge of what happened there. So I would just be surmising. Oh yeah, I should also say, I need to say thank you, Lucia, for the jewels. I've lost my, there it is. Sorry, I lost my mouse. I should say, yes, I don't have any particular credentials for any of this. I'm just an ex-mechanic with an English degree. These are just my opinions. We're just here for a good time. A resting bitch face. I love that. What a great name. Hello. Is that a new name and we are somebody that we already know, or no? Because what a great name. Yeah, so, and also if you want to support the channel, please, you can like, you can share, you can subscribe, you can buy a membership. There's penny chats linked in the pinned comment. And if you want to be supportive and remind people to hit the thumbs up every now and again, I would also appreciate that. Yeah, her resting bitch face. I like it. I mean, it could be Lauren's nickname or Bobby Joe's. Thank you so much, Clapping Seal. I like a clapping seal. Very nice. Dr. Melmo. Hey, how are you? We were just looking at that. So he also filed a domestic violence restraining order and got a temporary one against her as well. And she did a counterclaim. We were just looking at the court docket for that. I tried to share the link before, but it doesn't, because you have to sign in and everything. It doesn't. But if people are interested, it's the Superior Court of California, County of San Bernardino. And I can post the court case. Oh, that's not it. Hang on. I'll do it later. Anyway, yes. So I thought we would watch the rest of this GraeBae as much as we can do of it today. I can't. We're at...
Hey, everyone.
We were at, weirdly, the last time I ended on the 9-hour live of Lauren's, we were at 2:22:22, and in this one we were at 1:11:11. So I don't know what that's all about, but we'll just carry on where we left off. Grayson, I believe, was talking about how it's also unfathomable to her how anybody could ever carry on in such a way. What do people have to gain by doing this? It's just such a mystery, and if only she could figure it out, then she could figure out how to whatever, how to solve the problem. Hang on a second here. I'm getting some texts that might have some interesting information. Let me just have a quick look at them. Sorry, I don't mean to be rude. But yeah, there are documents in the file, but they're just not. They're not showing. They're not letting me have the documents. Yeah. Anyway, sorry about that. So that's what we were just looking at, Michelle, was he filed for a restraining order, and then she filed back for a restraining order against him. He filed first and was given a restraining order, and she was given a partial restraining order, and then there was to be a hearing. There was a hearing that obviously didn't take place on the 19th. I'm not sure I can't remember now what it was for. And then the hearing about the TROs was supposed to take place next week on Wednesday. So I have no idea if I have no idea. I just know that it's interesting, given that his sister was just involved in the very thing a year before, and maybe that's where he got the idea from. Not that restraining orders are that uncommon that he would never have heard of it before or anything, but happy gnosis. Thank you so much for the jewels. Somebody else, I did say thank you for the other jewels, right? People, if I didn't, please, yes, I did. Clapping seal. Thank you. Yes, I did. Marshmallow, hi. I like a marshmallow. Hello. Marshmallow, hello. Okay, so let's just carry on with Grayson. She's extremely twee, and I find her, like, at first with all of this, the first time around, I gave Grayson a lot of grace when I was first going through this video, until I heard the things that she had to say. And then since that time, I have learned more about Grayson, and She seems to me to be just as disordered and messed up as Lauren and John, and that she's just as culpable in all of this as were her employers. She has had plenty of time to reflect on all of this, and, you know, paper plate face, hey, Anders Gustafsson, and do an about face. And she has chosen instead to double down like the rest of them. She knows they were lies. She knows as well as anyone. If she didn't know at the time and she was somehow caught up and so terrified, she knows very well now. So, I mean, I don't believe that at the time either, but Hapinosa says GraeBae reminds me of every woman who's tried to gaslight and manipulate me at work because I'm autistic. Yeah, she's a piece of work. I have seen some private texts of hers that are just extremely, extremely manipulative. And I don't give her grace anymore. I think she's in it up to her ears, and she needs to be held accountable just like the rest of them. So, yeah, I really think that she is. There's something not right there, right? Good old paper plate face. That's another turtle boyism, right? Anyway, let's get on with this because we will be here all day because I can never listen to Grayson for longer than a minute without interrupting her because she's so annoying. So it could take us all day. So let's get started.
You can't do anything.
Right. You can't, and all you can do is depend on the law. And we've all heard those stories about how someone's being stalked and the piece of paper just didn't do them any good. So, and I don't know how.
Oh, just the texts with who was asking? Somebody was asking about the texts. Sorry, I missed it. But just, she was reaching out to Christina, after she had been involved with the body cam footage that we all saw in Henderson. And and she was sort of pretending like, oh, I feel so sad about all of this. And I just wanted to reach out as a friend. And I just feel like it was complete bullshit. And she was just trying to get Christina to talk to her so that she could get more, so that she could manipulate the situation in some way. Because there is no doubt in my mind. I mean, you see right from the get-go with that Henderson body cam footage that she is right in there like a dirty fucking shirt. She's the one who starts, right, with this whole, they hacked her iCloud and they're trying to extort her and everything, both of which were complete lies, right? And now you claim it as your own. Well, that's fair enough. I mean, it is very good. Grayson has got one of those for such an odd little duck. Her appearance lends itself to a lot of different sort of like. She reminds me of Peter Lorre. She looks like Uncle Fester. Her behavior reminds me of Renfield. Yes, master. Yes, master. That kind of shit. Oh, she was trying to have a dinner. It's true. I forgot about that, Lucia. Sorry. It was a dinner. Yeah, very theatrical. Just, yeah. And I think she loves it, right? I mean, it may just be that she loves I think she's hooked on the adrenaline high and the cortisol and all the fucking rush of emotions that comes from the drama, right? Yeah, I would agree with that, Kelly Kell. Nice to see you. Gollum. Yes, my precious. Yes, precious. CC McManus. Yes, good one. Yeah, for such a weird, she's just this weird little chick, and yet she's so, her little face and her behavior. I'm the second YouTube person this week. I'm not sure what that means. I think you must have hit send before you finished. The delicious dinner. She recorded Gigi and lied about it. Yeah, she lied to the cop, right? Instead of just going, oh, we did record her. Oh, shit, I should delete that. Sorry, I didn't realize, right? Like a normal fucking person would. Yes, like a troll. Yes. All the things. Cabbage Patch Kid, somebody said. And then somebody else said, more like a Garbage Pail Kid. But yeah, Trisha reminds you of Gollum. Yeah, Trisha's very Gollum-like indeed. Apinosis, yeah. Yeah, she's a weird little dude. Anyway, let's get on with her. She's very sad. She's very troubled. She's having a faith crisis. Who's this now? LRSO1RZ. Nice to see you. I don't think we've met. Says, I feel just a tiny bit bad for Gray because she's so young and becomes so influenced by these too much older adults. But yes, she's fully participated in the drama and lies. I mean, I had definitely felt that way too, right? I'm like, she's a young woman, maybe she's just, somebody needs to, drag her out of there. But we're halfway through this video at this point. We're at 111 minutes. And we've not got to the dentist part yet. So that was the part, the dentist part, where she completely lost me. Grayson. I suspect Gray came primed with her own issues well cultivated before she ever met the Matthiases. Oh, absolutely. It seems like it. Yeah, I have heard stuff about Grayson and some of the dysfunction in her family and stuff that I'm not sure I have permission to share any of that stuff. But it certainly seems like she came from some dysfunction. Not surprising. Okay, here we go. Let's listen to little GraeBae. You guys all have so many interesting things to say. I'd rather listen to you, honestly. Yeah. Did I hit play? Come on.
How much you want to get into, but you came back, you had a hearing, but they let the woman go first. And then they didn't. Yeah, so why don't you talk about that?
I didn't talk much about that, and I don't know that they necessarily want to right now.
Okay, well, then you don't have to.
Yeah,
fuck off. Right away, right? That is mischaracterizing things. It can't even run for a minute. Hey, Paro, wow, nice to see you. Lots of new names today. I don't think I recognize that name either. Nice to meet you. What did she just say that made me so mad and then I got distracted? Oh yeah, that they let the other side go first, and that was so unfair. Like, these guys already went first, right? They went first and got their fucking temporary restraining orders. So the other side having their turn in court, they are mischaracterizing that to try to make it look like it wasn't fair. And Grayson knows all of this perfectly fucking well. Trisha, I don't expect her to know anything because she's dumb as a post. Like, gross.
It was a hearing that got transitioned into it was an extended hearing, so or extended or pushed out. I don't know. So there was a hearing.
The word is continued. They continued it to a later date because they only had an hour, and it was going to take more than an hour.
And the stalker's attorney said, "Well, my client has witnesses from out of town, essentially." So the judge decided to hear from her witnesses and not us, and then extended it out. Never mind that we're from out of town.
Right.
And so, yeah, but
you're the plaintiff, and those are witnesses that are there because you fucking forced a situation that wasn't even happening, you absolute dumb bimbo. So please spare me well, we're from out of town too. It's not really fair. Sarah Crossbody says mischaracterizing would definitely be on her behavior bingo cards. Yeah, she's fucking gross. I did try, and to be on Grayson's side and to see things from the point of view of a young girl getting wrapped up getting wrapped up with these, narcissists, these, seasoned manipulators. But it's very clear. Grayson didn't even come into the courtroom. She's got some, hey, Lazodan, nice to see you. She has got some extremely excellent manipulative skills of herself. Dreamscape62, nice to see you, says Grayson should be aware that calling somebody a stalker who has not been found guilty of that crime is actually defamation per se. She is opening herself to a lawsuit. Yeah, we went over in what this is part 3 of this of my response to this. In part 1, we went over all of the things that Grayson says in this video that are legally actionable, and there were lots of them. And yeah, defamation per se means that you don't have to prove that you lost work or that you were affected by it, right? If you accuse somebody of a crime, if you claim that somebody committed a crime that they did not commit, that's defamation per se. And they don't have to prove damages. Particularly also if it's somebody that's like, somebody that's a public figure doing that shit. Yeah. That's okay. You didn't, that's fine. You don't need to. There's no reason why you should have known anything at all, Dreamscape. You just feel free to carry on being yourself. We're happy to have you.
That was a thing, and then it was pushed out to, the rest of it was pushed out to October 16th, and which was going to be yesterday, I believe. And then we found out on, I think it was Tuesday, that Long Crime was going to stream it. So it was really fast that we found out right before. We didn't have much time to like wrap our heads around that either. But yeah, like I said,
that's good.
In and of itself is, yeah.
That's perfect. That gives the basic outline of what happened. And this is a great comment. I think this really says it all. And it's Jeannie Phipps says, it's hard to understand something you yourself would never think of doing to someone.
Yeah.
I mean, that's true. That comment is not wrong. It's just directed at the wrong people. And let's not forget, right, that all of these people that are falling for their lies are also their victims. Hey, Leola, nice to see you, HMX Gen X lady. All the good people are here. Yeah, just that.
And that's there is the whole crux of the matter right there. That's it.
Yeah.
You like I said, we talked about this list, and it was a very compelling, emotional list. Is there anything else that you want to go over on your list, or did you want to read any more from the declarations that were offered by people?
Maybe I'll read just like one more thing.
Okay.
I don't really know how much I want to get into it. Those declarations were like, when somebody's being abused and everybody else is, and the person's like, well, they were abusing me. It's very
maybe tell people what a declaration is. What is the point of
this?
So
a declaration is just you writing, I guess, your side to the court, and then the attorneys question you about that on the stand.
Okay. Right.
That's really a declaration.
Okay.
Let's see. I wrote about it somewhere.
GraeBae, the legal expert here. Jesus Christ. How is... I came across an article a little while ago where Grayson was at the Delphi trial, and somebody interviewed her as part of their article. And again, she just came off like a complete fucking know-nothing who was pretending to have important things to say about the trial. Just like she's over here pretending that she has anything at all to contribute to the discussion about what happened.
Oh, this was interesting. This little segment was pretty much in all of the declarations that the stalker's friends had written on behalf of, or like in support or whatever, about what they knew.
It's so enraging, eh? When I just keep picturing her on the body cam footage when there was no, like, at that time they didn't have Christina in their sights particularly, right? Christina was one of a whole bunch. It wasn't until Christina made the TikToks that they settled on her as the person that they were going to attack, right?
I dispute the allegations regarding stalkers' online posts and their alleged impact on Matthias, her husband, and Yohr, which is me, sorry. It is not clear to me what posts and public comments Lauren and Grayson referenced in their declarations. However, I have listened to and or viewed a significant amount of stalkers' content. some of which is about Lauren, which on the stand, Lindsay did testify that that account was made about Lauren. So,
Right.
the content does not threaten, defame, or harass Matthias. Again, I would say that saying somebody wants to get pregnant with their brother's sperm is actually defamatory when that's not the truth.
She said that, and there's multiple witnesses, right, to her saying that she was considering being the surrogate for her brother's baby. So that's not defamation. And also, like, it's not really like defamation involves like your reputation being destroyed and you're losing work and you're losing status in the community and all the rest of it, right? So, you know, nice try, Grayson, but good luck finding a lawyer to follow up with that.
Truth.
Yeah, exactly. It's pretty,
pretty
awful.
Thank you.
Stalker does not purport to address Matthias indirectly or directly. Rather, Stalker is simply engaging in public discourse regarding topics of interest in the true crime community, which at times include Matthias and Matthias's conduct in public statements. Matthias has spoken publicly on many aspects of her personal life, her purported credentials, and a variety of true crime-related topics. From what I know of Matthias and Yohr, based on their public statements and the time I've spent with them, I do not believe that they have suffered the adverse effects they describe in their declarations. I also do not think it would be...
Right? I mean, Christina is so reasonable, and she's so much has got the receipts, and she's like just making these extremely obvious points. And these guys are like, what? Grayson reading it in this snotty voice is supposed to imply that it's outrageous in some way. And yet Christina's completely reasonable. It's like watching that fucking 9-hour live where Lauren is going, she's my stalker, and she's so upset and she's crying and she's carrying on. And it's literally nothing. There's nothing happening. You listen to Christina and she's perfectly reasonable and perfectly normal and perfectly sane and making perfect sense. Sparkles. Thanks, Lucia. Thank you, Gucci, for the memberships. I appreciate that very much. They try to carry their whole argument. They try to carry with this snotty tone of voice and this how very dare you high dudgeon thing. And they're describing Christina's perfectly logical behavior.
I also do not believe that it would be reasonable for a public figure like Matthias, who is outspoken on many issues, to experience fear or emotional distress from others exercising their right to public discussions on issues of general interest. General interest is not somebody's dead brother.
Exactly. That's horrible. That's
not somebody's dead brother.
But it is, though, right? I mean, that's the whole point, right? These people they're doing this appeal to this is pathos, right? There's no logic here. It's pathos. Like, oh, how very dare your brother's dead. How could you? Right? When the point that Christina was trying to make, and before I ever had spoken to Christina or knew her personally in any way at all, it was my opinion that the point that Christina was trying to make was that Lauren would go to extreme lengths to center herself in a tragedy so that she could get attention. Christina has since confirmed for me that, yeah, that was the point, right? I mean, it seems very obvious, but these guys rely on everybody in the audience going, how very dare you speak about the dead brother? Who would ever do this? Who would ever speak about the dead brother? As though being dead means that it's completely off limits to ever even mention, which is ridiculous, right? It doesn't make logical sense that we can never mention. This is just, it's an appeal to your emotions, and it works for their audience, right? All of these people are absolutely outraged. This is the one, right? This is the one. I think Christina was right to include this information in her TikToks, but if she made any mistake at all, it was in not explaining clearly what she was saying, because it allowed all of these people to jump on this with their how very dare yous and then write off everything else that she was saying. And it's almost a gift to these losers. And it's a shame.
Brother.
That's a terrible. And whose declaration was that again?
These were Lori, Janice, and Lindsay had written declarations, and I mean, I'd have to read them all, but I'm pretty sure the last paragraph on each one was pretty much identical.
The same. That was pretty much on all of them. And
yeah.
I'm gonna bother to check.
How are they
Also,
able to judge Lauren's feeling? You know,
yeah,
Jesus.
Yeah. How can you describe what I've like? I do not believe they have suffered adverse effects they describe in their declarations.
She said, I don't believe it. Where's your problem with that? She didn't say, I know for a fact. She said, I don't believe it. So again, the high dudgeon, the how very dare you, the oh my God, we're so upset over Christina expressing her opinion about something in an affidavit, right? In a declaration. So what? Right? I mean, these people are so twee, and yet their followers just eat this shit up, right? It's just embarrassing for everybody involved.
How the hell do they know?
That's rich of you to say what you believe that I've dealt with.
Right. Exactly.
I'd rather not show you my psych records, but my psych records, which talk about this exact thing.
Are you sure? Because you're constantly bringing up your psych records. So I don't believe, and this is my opinion, Grayson, and I'm allowed to express it whether you agree with me or not, or you think, how could I know? It is my opinion that this is all a big act so that you can continue to stay in the orbit of your beloved Lauren Matthias.
Mm-hmm.
Because I disclosed to my psychiatrist, my brand new psychiatrist, because I wasn't seeing a psychiatrist before this.
Right.
They disclosed that I need medication because of this.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And I can.
That is absolute fucking bullshit, in my opinion. If she is so messed up by all of this, she should have gone home. And any doctor who is prescribing this young woman sedatives to deal with this should be deeply fucking ashamed of themselves.
I tell you, people, Grayson was devastated. She was scared. She didn't know what to do. It was a horrible, horrible time that you were going through, obviously along with Lauren.
Terrible.
And so this thing has this horrible ripple effect. You know, it affects you, so it affects your job, which also affects.
How do you think it affected Christina's family, or Christina, or Janice, or Sarah, or Lori, or Lindsay? How do you think those people were affected, and their family members were affected? Like Lori's husband, the dentist, who you're trashing all over YouTube. How do you think he was affected? Does the ripple effect only go one way, or does it work both ways? Just curious.
It affects your friends, it affects your family. It's a ripple effect.
Yeah, it affects everything, right? Like anyone could say, I'm going to come back to Monica's find a new dentist comment because I have some thoughts about that.
Okay.
I'll explain that in a second.
Oh yeah, she can't fucking wait, eh? She loves the dentist story. What a little manipulative twat this woman is. Jesus.
Anyone.
Sorry, God, it's just so maddening. The self-importance, right? Like as if literally anything that she is saying here is insightful or interesting or illuminating or valuable in any way, except for that it's allowing Trisha to get a whole lot of clicks and Grayson to get a whole lot of attention. But I don't think that she has a single insight into any of this. You're welcome, Happinosis. I'm a bit of an Anglophile, I have to admit.
One could say, like, just go enjoy your life and get off social media and get the blah, blah, blah. But like, this is my career. And when this is happening, I actually have.
Please fuck off with that. This is my career. You're not that important. You're not that important. This is my career. What a...
I haven't been home to see my family since May. I haven't seen my friends in my hometown since.
Okay, right? She's saying this, and we're supposed to feel like, oh, that's so sad. It's so sad. Oh, poor Grace. She doesn't see her family. She doesn't see her friends. All because of these terrible stalker women. They're so mean. She's trying to have a dinner, and they're being so mean to her, and so she can't even see her family, and she has to be on medication. She's so messed up. It is this awful, poor Grace. And oh my God. And none of them is thinking, like, get the fuck away from these crazy adults who are enmeshing you in their messy little situation, and go see your fucking friends. Like, how are none of these people going, Grayson, why are the comments not, Grayson, maybe you need to take some time off and go see your family, right? She's going to say, oh, but I love them, I need to be with them. And when you love people the way I love, everybody just needs to love harder the way I love so hard. Then, like, love should not fuck with your brain so much that you can't function and you need to go get medication for that, right? And that's essentially her excuse for not getting herself out of the situation that is destroying her mental health, is that she loves so hard and so true. And none of these fucking grown-ass adults that are watching this have the sense to fucking call it for what it is. Like, all these, oh, everybody needs a Grayson in their life. She's so loyal. Isn't it wonderful? Like, oh, how are there so many of these people walking around free in the world? I just don't get it.
It's March. Like, and yeah, sure, anybody could say just go, but it actually just feels like I can't, because I can't get a hold of what's happening in my like my mental health is also so destroyed.
Oh no! So you
can't pick up and leave. You feel right. You feel
happens.
You feel obligated. Not I don't obligated. That's not the word. You're so close to Lauren and her family. You can't leave. What would you do at home? You'd worry the whole time. You just worry, you know?
Exactly. So
Kelly Cal says this is actually a little bit sad because now Grayson has had something much, much worse actually happen to her. I assume you're talking about the loss of her brother. And yeah, but she didn't take time off work for that either, right? She stayed working. So again, there is something rotten in the state of hidden true crime, because none of that should have been happening with this she must be 25 now, this 25-year-old girl. I mean, I know she's a grown-ass woman, but my God.
So instead, I call my dad and I cry about it, and I just tell him I don't know what to do anymore. I call my sister and say I'm hopeless.
No, you're not.
But this doesn't end. My sister's like, please come home, come see us. And I'm like, I can't. Like, what if something happens and I'm too far gone, and then I've got to rush to get back to where I live to deal with this? And like, that's not, you know, this affects every aspect of your life.
Right.
This is like the thing that's so fucking off-putting about Grayson in all of this, is that this obviously doesn't have to affect any aspect of your life, right? Except maybe your job, sure. But I mean, lots of people have their jobs affected by things that have nothing to do with them, right? She could very easily walk away from all of this and go find herself another job and go home. And she is trying to make it seem like there's no way out for her, when in fact, none of this was about her, right? It was about Lauren. She inserted herself in it and has talked about it being we, and there's no way out, and I can't, and blah, blah, blah. She has chosen all of this. She could have walked away. Everyone needs a little lassie in their lives. Well, that's true, but I'm not sure everyone needs a little Grayson. I mean, how do none of these people...
I would like to address this. Somebody said...
How do none of these people get that she has put herself here, that she doesn't need to be there, that she could have walked away from all of this, even if it, like, especially if it was true?
Because Grayson considered finding another creator to work for. I will never leave the people I work for who are...
Right? So this is it, right? How very dare you even suggest that I shouldn't be here? You are so out of line, right? And it short circuits your critical thinking skills. I mean, maybe not of the person who's asking, but it's short circuiting the other people's critical thinking skills, right? Grayson is this wonderful, loyal friend, is what they're all thinking, right? And she's, how dare you? I will never. What? You will never take care, you'll never prioritize your mental health over the histrionics of someone you have a big girl crush on? Because that sounds like a pathology, not something that you need to be proud of. And shaming other people for suggesting that you get yourself out of this situation that you are sitting here telling us is destroying you. It's destroying me. I call my dad and I say, I don't know what to do anymore. I call my sister and I say, I'm hopeless. Like, and people are like, Grayson, here, maybe get another job. Why don't you try? How dare you? How dare you? Like, so what do you want? You want to stay in this situation and you want everybody to feel perpetually sorry for you. Like there's no way out. When there's a very clear door marked exit right there. This is what I mean when I say she is right in the dirt with this. Hey, Blue Marky, nice to see you. I feel like we haven't seen you for a little bit. Thanks for the 30 jewels flower. I do love flowers. This is all like if you're going to tell me that Grayson is not a part of all this shit, she is just as dirty in this as Lauren is. She is just as fucked up. She is just as manipulated. She is just as disordered. And she is playing these, it's not the gems right now. It will be gems, right? There will be a lot of gems watching too, but the mad chatters, she's playing them all for the absolute asshat fools that they are.
Are good people because of things that other people are doing.
Exactly.
You see how she looked in the camera?
You're not going to let anybody chase you out, right?
They haven't done anything.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not going to just leave them to deal with this alone. That's like essentially anybody who knows about.
Like, how are you helping? How is this fucking idiot helping? Can you even imagine outsourcing your mental health to this idiot for any reason? Not that Lauren is having a mental health crisis. I mean, that's all made up. But they are literally trying to make you believe that this bimbo, this dumbass with not a single bit of insight, the only thing she's got is outrage and high dudgeon. That's it. She has not offered a single insight into any of this. All of it is a manipulation to make you feel sorry for her, one, and two, to praise her for being this amazing friend who would never abandon the people she loves so deeply. Like, why are you in love with the people that you work for? Because that is creepy. Also, where are their boundaries with these people? They have none. None of them have any. And 25 is fucking old enough. I'm sorry. Like, Your brain is fully formed by 25. I mean, you may not have a whole ton of life experience, but you going to tell me that telling lies to the police about people and manipulating and lying to the police about your own behavior is something that you haven't figured out by the age of 25 might be problematic? Please. Yes, go cry in your risotto. Thank you, Beehives and Homicides. Another great name. I love all your guys' names.
About this and knows she didn't do anything and won't stand up and say something. That's not going to be me.
Exactly.
Yeah. Is it hard to stand in the fire as it's happening? Yeah. Am I concerned because I'm 24 years old and this is my career? Yeah.
Oh, is she concerned? Oh, but she doesn't care. She doesn't care. She is so devoted and loyal. Oh my God. Yeah, right. I was raising my son at 27 too, Blue Margie. Alone, as it happens, estranged from, even my own family. So, and yeah, I mean, plenty of women the world over are in charge of large families by the age of 25. So 24, whatever this is. See, Tanya Jones, so proud of you, Grayson, right? Like, where is the critical thinking skills of these people? Right. Faye was raising her son at 21. Exactly. I mean, right, Margie, you too, right? Yeah, like single-handedly doing these things and not having to lie to the police about people telling the truth about me in order to get out of shit for it. Yeah, Janice Ballet Flats, pregnant with my second child when I was 24. Exactly. Everybody acting like, oh, she's just a kid. She's not a fucking kid. She's a grown-ass adult. And if you don't know by the age of 25 the basics of how to treat other people, then you're never going to know. Like, if you are trying to teach somebody about empathy who is a grown-ass adult, what you are doing in that moment is giving those people supply. Because you're making them feel like, because you're willing to spend your energy to try to teach them something that they should fucking have known since they were 5. I mean, most of you will have heard of the book, Everything I Need to Know I Learned in Kindergarten. There's a lot of truth in that, right? If you have to explain to someone about empathy, look the fuck out for that person.
But I'm also at my core, I care about people.
Right.
I'm not going to leave somebody and leave the place I work for because of it. And that person probably meant well in their comment. I wasn't being mean.
I'm
just going to say that, like, I'm not going to just leave my job because I'm dealing with something like this.
Right.
Why, though? Why? Explain that. Explain why. I'm not just going to leave my job because I have completely lost hope and I'm hopeless and I can't stop crying and my life has no purpose or meaning anymore. I'm not just going to leave my job. Again, there is no argument here. There's no explanation here. All she has is outrage and emotion. It's pathos, it's pathos, it's pathos, it's pathos, it's pathos. There was no argument here. There was no insight here. This woman has nothing to offer you. She is, if it's even possible, she is at least as bad as Lauren in terms of being an empty vessel. Like, there is nothing going on in these brain cells here. And their whole audience is falling for it. The outrage, except for that one person who said, well, why don't you get another job? Seems pretty clear.
No way. I like I said, I've tried to stay offline. I went into another chat today for like 5 seconds, and they were actually talking about me and saying,
she was on Reddit on the day that her brother passed, arguing with people. So ask yourself, if she's lying, You choose to be good or you choose to do whatever you feel is good for you. And that describes Grayson. Yeah, I mean, people with empathy, it's like the thing is that people talk about people like Grayson or Lauren. I think that they imagine that empathy is like, they don't know what it's like. Empathy doesn't allow you to make choices. Right? Like, I cannot fuck people over. My empathy won't let me. Right? It won't allow me to do that. And I don't think people that don't have empathy don't understand how that works, right? It's like, I can't live with myself if I fuck over another person. And so I don't do it because I can't. I am, I have breaks. I have internal breaks. And it's the frontal lobe. I think you're right. These people don't understand that. People who don't have empathy don't understand what it's like to feel it and exactly even what it is, right? I think that they imagine that it's like, oh, you feel sad for other people when they feel sad. And it is so, so, so very much more than that, right? It's so much more than that. And it, I mean, if your empathy is functional, then it guides your behavior, right? The lack of empathy in these people guides their behavior, right? That's how they are able to behave the way that they do, because they don't have functioning empathy that puts guardrails around their behavior. Yeah, I think that might be a very good point there, Dreamscape. Yes, right? They think that, yeah, sympathy is like feeling sad for somebody, right? And empathy is feeling what other people feel, right? It's being able to read the room. It's being able to feel when like everybody in the room is like put off by something. You can feel that, right? It's not necessarily like, oh, I feel sad for you when you're hurt. That's part of it. But it's so, so much more. And if you don't have it, I guess it's pretty hard to fathom.
Saying something about Grayson's parents wouldn't appreciate Lauren putting her through this and giving her all this fear. Lauren didn't give me fear. The stalker gave me fear. Let's address that.
Again, right? Oh, the stalker gave me fear. I mean, if there was a stalker and the stalker was causing Grayson's, fear, that would be one thing. But again, she's trying to short circuit your critical thinking skills because the stalker is the one causing the fear, even though we all know that's not actually happening, that doesn't mean that Lauren and John don't have a responsibility to cut you loose and let you go home, send you away from this, even against your will. Right? These people are more than twice your age, or John is anyway. Lauren is probably 20 years older, right? So she's using outrage to short circuit your critical thinking skills, because it doesn't matter who is harming Grayson. What matters is the harm, right? But people won't get that. They'll be like, oh, she's so loyal.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. My parents are actually very happy with my career.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, are they?
My parents are actually pretty proud of me this week for speaking out on what's right.
Oh, are they? Aw. So you've lied to your parents and made them believe that the situation is something that it isn't. So you can come out here and talk down to people in the audience. Is that like, I mean, who is she actually talking down to even here? You catch that tone? My parents are actually proud of me. Who is she? Who is that tone for? Is she lying to herself? I don't know. I mean, people who don't have empathy don't care about lying. They don't have to lie to themselves. They can just lie to you. They don't need to lie to themselves. I mean, they do lie to themselves about, how great they are and that kind of stuff, but
as they should be, and I'm proud of you too. And
my dad has continued
everybody
to
in
say,
chat
don't leave
is
something.
too.
Yeah, my dad's continued to say, don't leave something that when they haven't done anything wrong, you stand up for what's right.
How is you staying there? How are you, again, explain how you're standing up for what's right by staying in a situation that is destroying your mental health. Do you stand up for what's right at any fucking cost? In a situation like this, like, I mean, I guess, yes, there are lots of people who stand up for what's right at any cost, right? People who are willing to die for their beliefs and their values. But this isn't that kind of a situation. And Grayson is not in any kind of actual danger from the stalker. So this whole, like, there, she's trying to make it into something that it isn't, right? Into this whole that she, I mean, how is she standing up for what's right? Like, again, nobody in the audience is going to go, well, how is this standing up for what's right, staying there and destroying your mental health? How is that standing up for what's right? And don't John and Lauren have an obligation to stand up for what's right, which would be to not allow your mental health to be destroyed by a situation that they caused, right? That is their situation. I mean, it's not like Grayson could refuse to leave. No, she refused to leave, so we had to keep her on. Like, they have the power to let her go. So again, it's all just obfuscation and distraction to keep people on side. And it's got nothing to do with the reality of standing up for what's right.
Exactly.
So, no, I'm not going to just quit my job. And yeah, Lauren and John tell me all the time, go home, take some time off. But like, it's hard. I'm just very committed to my job. I love my job. Anybody will tell you that. I love my job. I love to work. I love to do my thing. This has hindered my ability to do that effectively.
Arresting bitch face says Lauren and GraeBae are behaving like a folly. Yeah, you know the madness of two. It's like a shared hysteria. Yeah, we've sort of decided that John and Lauren and Grayson are a throuple, and so it's a folie à trois. Seems like with these guys. Janice Ballet Flats said, I did not watch this live. It was my son's senior night football game, and I already gave up now hours of my life the day before. Oh my God. Was this just the day after? Oh my God. They were just trying to blanket their coverage, and get it out there all over before anybody could respond.
And anybody would say that I could just go home. And in theory, I could. But there is an underlying fear when you're going through a smear campaign and stalking and all of this stuff. There's an underlying fear of, if I'm too far gone and something happens, I'm not where I work regularly.
Right.
So I'm going to be trying to deal with something that's massive and not be there.
Why are you trying to deal with something that's massive? Again, why doesn't anybody ask any questions of her, including Trisha and Stacy, these grown-ass women who are old enough to be her grandmother, have not a single question for her about why is it her responsibility to deal with this massive, massive situation of their own making. But like, why is nobody asking this? Why does she need to be there? What exactly is her role that she needs to be there? That it's like Lauren not being, the Lori's trial could not go on without Lauren, right? It's that same level of fucking grandiosity that, like, nobody can. What if Grayson wasn't there? What would happen? Oh my God, what would happen? Okay, who could even imagine if Grayson left, right? Please fuck off with that. But it's working, right? Hugs, Grayson. Oh, hugs. Oh, poor Grayson. Oh, it's so sad. I despair. I genuinely despair. I was reading an article the other day that my landlady shared with me from the Atlantic, and I didn't get through it because it was one of those long reads. But it was about how the age of reading is over, and there were like lots of statistics about reading and about how people can't parse complex sentences anymore, and they can't read and synthesize. They can't read longer information and synthesize it and then come out and summarize it and that kind of thing, and that the ability for people to read a complex sentence is disappearing. And to me, that is so alarming in light of the fact that people already seem to have zero fucking critical thinking skills and are just getting taken in by tone of voice, by outrage, by pathos, and by ethos. The whole, Dr. John and his, I'm a psychiatrist, you can trust me. And nobody seems to be thinking for themselves. And the fact that people can't read and parse a complex sentence is a symptom of all of this inability for people to think with their own minds about what is being presented to them right in front of their faces. It's extremely alarming. It's how people like this gain the upper hand, right? Is because people just go on emotions. The facts don't care about your feelings, crew. They're the ones who do it more than anybody else, right? They act based on their feelings.
It's going to make it worse. It's going to make it worse.
So that's where we're at. I'm not going to quit my job. I'm actually just going to stand by what's right. I'm going to defend the people I love even harder. I'm going to defend the people who I know didn't do anything even more.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And good for you. And that's your character, Grayson. And that's why Lauren loves you. That's why you're good at what you do. Stacy, you were going to say something, I think. Stacy?
Yes, sorry.
That's okay.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, you still sound kind of like you got your face in the grassy knoll here in Dallas.
I'm sorry. I just wanted to say one thing real quick.
Okay.
That's okay. And that people are, what Grayson said about people saying, just turn off social media, don't look. That's the problem with this whole thing, is that this is real life. So even turning off social media doesn't mean they're not terrified.
Yeah.
Right. It doesn't.
Thanks. Thanks for that, Stacy. That's really important. Yeah, it's true. Some TikToks to an account with 300 followers that doesn't mention Lauren's name or show her face is pretty terrifying, whether you go look at it or not. That's true. That's true. Thanks for that insight, Stacy. All of these people are acting as though there's a fucking stalker, and they have the information that the stalking consisted of some TikToks. Megan's whole thing was, I don't think people understand how serious stalking is. And I think most people do understand how serious stalking is. What they don't seem to understand is that this isn't stalking.
It doesn't take away the fear. It doesn't take away the problem.
Yeah. I guess in some ways, it almost feels like you need to keep a handle on what's going on, too.
Right.
Because you have, it's like a roadmap, I guess, in some ways, for how much it's escalating, how much worse it's going to get.
Except that you don't need to keep an eye on anything, because nobody is even talking about you and nothing is even happening. And one of Grayson's favorite things to say is that it's escalating, and yet she can never offer any evidence of how things are escalating, ever. She has never offered a single bit of evidence. She says, what's going to happen next? Are they going to assault me? But nobody ever even came close to anything like that. And Kimmy Gen X just is in love with Grayson. She says, you and Lauren are both so talented. It actually crossed my mind you could thrive offline, and we would miss you, but your happiness and safety is what I'd want for you. But the strength is admirable. Right? So some of these people are actually having, intelligent thoughts like, get offline, quit your job, move along, leave this behind you. but they're being snookered by Grayson's outrage at the suggestion that she should do that, into thinking that that's proof of her deeply principled stance.
I get like it's
Mhm.
you can't just shut it off.
Right. Exactly.
So yeah. So dentist comment. I would somebody commented get
Yeah.
a dentist.
What does that mean? What's that about?
So Lori's husband is or was my dentist.
Mhm.
Lori is the
Okay, now
stalker's friend.
what
Not
Lori are we
Lori
talking
Hellis.
about?
Not Lori Hellis.
Hellis? Okay.
Lori is the stalker's friend from California, which is where California is my home. It's where my family is.
Okay, so she's friends with the stalker. Okay.
Lori's
Gotcha.
husband is my dentist. I'm going to say he's a really good dentist. I have
Mhm.
a fear of the dentist, and he was wonderful and helped me with that a lot.
Mhm.
And
Yeah, a wonderful dentist who helped her a lot, but that's not going to stop her from slandering his name on YouTube right now. So, like, again, that's the sort of thing people are going to go, oh, she liked him. He was such a nice guy. She even said, but they're not going to notice that she's now trashing him.
I haven't been there since a little bit before all of this has started, but there has been 2 times this dentist office has reached out to me. Let me give you the dates. I don't know.
If any of you haven't heard this yet, please prepare yourself, because it is extremely upsetting what happened to Grayson. You're not even going to believe it.
I don't know if they're just a coincidence, but
Mhm.
let's see. There were 2 times. I want to pull up those dates because those dates are really interesting to me that this dentist office has reached out to me.
Okay.
April 2nd.
Mhm.
Hi, Grayson. We were wondering if you would come in this Friday for your cleaning you had to miss. We have 10 or 11. I had missed that cleaning, I think in January. It had been a couple months.
Okay.
If not, we have more times this week. That was as I was driving to Arizona for Lori Daybell's trial. And the week before Lauren was confronted, this
Little bit of name dropping there, right? See how important she is? She was driving to Arizona for Lori Daybell's trial, and she's not going to give up her career, her very important career, because of some stalking dentist.
smear campaign had already taken effect.
Mhm.
Then I
Had it really? Because it wasn't until April 9th that Christina even said to Lauren that she'd seen her texts. So how is a full 7 days before that getting a phone call from her dentist to say, hey, can you come in this week to catch up on your tooth cleaning? How? Literally how?
was reached out to on Tuesday, September 23rd. So what, 3 weeks ago? The day after, I think it was the day after the initial court hearing.
Mhm.
Hi, Grayson. Haven't heard from them since April. Hi, Grayson.
Is that 6 months later? Did you respond to them in April? Did they try to reach up to you and you didn't answer, so they just left it until 6 months went by and then your name popped up to the top of the list again? Could that be what happened? Schmurder by tooth cleaning. It's true. Schmurder, she wrote. It's the plot of Schmurder, she wrote.
Are you available tomorrow afternoon to catch up on that cleaning from earlier this year? We can get you all caught up and back on a good schedule. Let us know. That, to my knowledge,
We can get you all caught up on your teeth cleaning and back on a good schedule. That is terrifying. I mean, it's almost like they interrupted her dinner, you guys. I'm just saying.
or to at least the knowledge that I had when I was seeing that, Lori worked at that dental office on Tuesdays. Why am I getting a text from this dental office on a Tuesday? There's no way this isn't, her husband doesn't know about this in my.
Okay, but even if, so Janice is saying Lori didn't even work on Tuesdays. She switched days long before any of that. But even if she did work on Tuesdays, a Apparently, Grayson is the only one who is allowed to be committed to her job and her career and her profession, right? Lori's not allowed to be like, well, even, I'm not saying Lori had anything to do with it, but even just supposing that Lori worked on that Tuesday and she was responsible on that Tuesday for sending out the text to people who needed to get their teeth cleaned. I feel like there would have been horrible outrage if she hadn't reached out, and that would have been because how very dare they not reach out to me when I need to get my teeth cleaned? That's not fair. But I feel like Lori would have just done it anyway because that's her job and it's her husband's practice. And why would she act like a fucking 14-year-old whose brain has not finished forming and who's having a mean girl fight, right? First of all, Lori's not a mean girl. Second of all, there's no indication whatsoever that Lori was there on that day. Third of all, there's no indication that Lori would behave unprofessionally and deliberately try to intimidate. I mean, who would even think that a text message about your teeth cleaning would be intimidating anyway? And nobody in the audience, anybody in the audience gonna push back against this? No.
My opinion.
Right.
Why are they texting me the day after this hearing, asking me if I want to come in for a dental appointment?
Why do you think that is? Why do you think that is?
Oh my God, did Trisha just ask a relevant question? I think that might be the first time I have ever heard. Lori was in Hawaii on April 2nd, says Janice. Yeah. I mean, even if she was there, none of this makes any sense. Are any of these people going to go, so? No, they're just all going to go, oh, how awful. The stalking dentist.
I mean, if I had to guess, I'm still paying this dental office for some work I got done.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that they're probably maybe a little bit concerned that their employee confronted me in public. And that's coming out publicly, or at that point was coming out in court documents.
Mm-hmm.
This is what she thinks. And she thinks that people are going to fall for this. How does anyone think that this woman has any insight or anything to offer? That they're like, oh no, we're not going to get the money from Grayson because Lori spoke to her in public. Like, it doesn't, none of it is the stupidest, thinnest excuse for any of this. Like, is she 5?
I don't know. The timing on both feels very suspicious to me.
Again, right? To me, this is just evidence of how much she loves to stir the pot, because there is fuck nothing in this. Nothing. Like, less than nothing. Your dentist sent you a reminder about your teeth cleaning and then sent you a reminder to pay the bill that you owe because they graciously fixed your teeth on a payment plan. There's nothing else happening here, and yet she is turning this into she's being stalked by her dentist. So if you don't think that Grayson is in this up to her fucking eyebrows, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah,
reaching
it
out
does
the
seem
week before
suspicious.
confrontation, when all of this thing at reaching out the week before this whole thing kicks off.
Mm-hmm.
When, I believe, to my knowledge, somebody said this had been going on for at least a week and a half prior. So I think that they probably were trying to get a feel.
Yeah, she thinks that everybody at Lori's husband's dental practice is up on all of the nuances of Grayson's little drama that she's creating. That's what she thinks. She genuinely thinks that, or she wants you to think that.
On if I was going to this trial or what I was doing, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
And
then try and get information.
The day after a stalking injunction hearing, where this woman and I are essentially both testifying for opposite sides.
Mm-hmm.
Weird.
Yeah.
That's just me. I could be overthinking that one, but
Like Tanya.
And here's Tanya over here. Go with your gut, Grayson. Go with your gut. Like, God, these people are so gullible. I'm going to have to tell you, Tanya, that your gut should be screaming at you right now to run a mile from these fucking people. And instead of running a mile from these fucking people, you're here telling them to go with their gut and ignoring your own gut instinct that these people are fucking lying. The ironing is delicious.
Tanya Jones says, go with your gut, Grayson. Go with your gut. Absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Somebody said, is Lori's husband the dentist aware of what's going on? I don't know, but he was a really good dentist. I'm actually sad to lose him because he was really good and he was really kind. I don't think he would have done this. He's actually a very, very kind LDS man. Very kind. So,
well, yeah,
He's very kind and very nice. And he was so nice to me and he helped me so much. And so I'm out here publicly trashing his practice. That's how I repay people who are kind to me. How does anybody believe any of this? I can't with these people falling for this shit. Go with your gut, Grayson. Go with your gut. Trust yourself, Grayson. You're an inspiration, Grayson.
I hope you don't have to find a new dentist, but it would be very awkward to go back there, I think. Very, very awkward.
Yeah, I think she has to find herself a new dentist, Trisha, you fucking numbskull. Jesus Christ, she just sat out here and trashed the man. A resting bitch face says, the fact that none of this is real is wild. Fictitious disorder, formerly Munchausen, comes to mind when I hear Grayson actually got prescribed meds for something that didn't happen. Yeah. Yeah. Or she didn't and she's lying. But they also, on the day that her brother passed, she was apparently so, distraught that Lauren had to take her to the hospital emergency so she could get some emergency, meds to help her cope. And I'm not going to say that, the sudden loss of a family member isn't distressing, but based on what I have seen from the histrionic presentation of this imbecile, and the very clear lack of empathy that she displays, she was either lying or she was just, getting meds because that's what these people do, right? Lauren is doped up most of the time. I don't see any reason why Grayson wouldn't be too. I'm not, I don't have any inside information about what meds she's on, but yeah, to take her to emergency to get benzos, like, oh, that's your caring boss is going to take you to emergency to get benzos and then drag you down to the fucking courthouse for a day of work. She's so fucked up that she needs benzos, but she's going to carry on working anyway. Like, these things are not adding up, right? So I think we are dealing with a profoundly disordered person here. And like a lot of these people, it's very possible that she uses drugs recreationally to control her moods.
Yeah. So no, I'll be working on finding a new dentist. Unfortunately, I've just been extremely preoccupied for the last few months. So that's kind of been on the bottom. Somebody said, if you have outstanding bills, oh, they did charge my credit card. I will say they charged my credit card the other day. They charged me once a month. I had to pay out of pocket for everything. So I just was like, just charge me once a month. They did charge my credit card the day of Lauren's live, which I owe them money. So whatever. But yeah, interesting. I often have the thought, like, am I funding my own attack at this point? It's very weird.
Am I she often has the thought, am I funding my own attack? That's what she's prepared to say about the dentist who she has just described as really nice and really kind and who was really good to her. She's now going to drag his practice through the fucking garbage water to suggest that paying what she owes for the very kind thing that he did for her and allowed her to pay it off in installments is somehow funding this fictitious attack. And again, none of it is about her. There is not a single TikTok video that I saw that mentions Grayson in any, even tangentially. Right? You're paying what you owe. Exactly. A resting bitch face. Exactly. I mean, yeah. I sort of assume that she has moss on her teeth. Anyway, sorry, I'm getting all head up over here. Moving on.
Yeah, exactly. It is kind of, it's odd how that happened. You know, what are the odds that somebody's doing this to you and they work for your...
I don't know, Trisha, why don't you go out and place a bet? Find out. Maybe you can win big. Stand closer to the Colgate, says Happiness. Services rendered, pay your bills. Exactly. Funding my own attack. Please get fucked.
Your dentist. Now, is she married to the dentist? Is that what somebody said?
Yeah, that's her husband.
Okay.
Her husband owns the dental office.
Very, very strange. Very, very strange.
Yeah. So
okay.
Yeah. That's the dental thing. People have been like, get a new dentist. I don't know,
when you're list.
When you're dealing with a stalking case and then you're dealing with a smear campaign, you often just don't have time.
Is that what happens when you're dealing with those things? Is that like what's happening for most people when they're dealing with those things, right? Yeah. She's like, she's the old pro. She knows what it's like when you're dealing with a smear campaign and a stalker. You just don't have time to clean your teeth.
Time to do everything else, or the emotional energy.
Let me ask you, and maybe you don't know, and maybe you...
Do you notice the way she does that, looking at the camera after she delivers what she thinks is a particularly punchy line? She looks up at the camera to get you can see her when she's in some of the body cam footage with Lauren, where she's doing that kind of, waiting for fucking attention or praise or something, right? It's that look. She's looking up. Yeah. Good one, Grayson. Good one. She's super creepy. There is a reason, right? There's a reason why all of the things that she gets compared to are creepy, right? Garbage Pail Kids, Renfield, Peter Lorre, Uncle Fester, right? It's not a coincidence. There is something extremely creepy about this woman. There's something not right.
You don't want to answer, and you don't have to.
There's that weird Grant says Grayson is just evil, and there's certainly that what the fuck is with this woman? But at the same time, she's very much she's kind of the sidekick, right? So I think she's extremely scary in her own right, and yet she's not a ringleader type, right? A resting bitch face says the ease with which Gray will trash someone's occupation and reputation while crying defamation or use it because they have more to lose is frightening. Yeah, she's absolutely a piece of work. Well, hopefully they will be. Gran says they should be sued for calling an innocent person a stalker. They should be. Hopefully they will be. As far as I'm concerned, it ain't over till it's over, and it ain't over.
Has it stopped?
Yes. She absolutely.
As far as the comments to calling up her Lauren's colleagues and the leaking of these messages.
I
we know if that
No, it's gotten much worse since then, Trisha. I mean, I call them up all the time. I don't, but I email them. And yours, by the way.
That stopped.
I wouldn't know necessarily what stopped.
Mhm.
Yeah, exactly.
Again, I'm not really trying to go on social media that much right now.
Right.
So I don't really know what's happening online.
Because nothing's fucking happening. You.
Well, I can tell
As far
you
as, like,
everything
posts
I've seen.
being made on TikTok, I don't really know.
Right. Everything I've seen online, and it's just, I haven't been to TikTok, but very positive, 100% positive. You know, it's just been amazing. But
Yeah.
I haven't gone a lot of places. I will admit to that.
I don't know if people are still being contacted. If you are, let us know. Yeah, I don't know. I do know that a lot of people texted me while Lauren was live saying, this makes so much sense. I'm sorry I didn't see this sooner. I understand now.
Right.
What?
Yeah, a lot of people have kind of,
What do they understand?
as the evidence has.
What are you fucking talking about? I understand now. As the evidence is rolling in, the evidence of Christina's innocence, there was not one single piece of evidence on that 9-hour live that I've seen. I haven't watched it all yet, but I haven't seen any evidence of anything except these guys manufacturing a narrative. All of the evidence points to Lauren being the abuser and a liar. In one clip, she's sobbing into her comforter and snotting all over it about how nobody would reach out to her. And in the next clip, she's playing a phone message from someone reaching out to her saying, can you please get back to me? I want to talk to you about this, and labeling it threatening phone call. So the only thing she has is manipulations, right? The evidence that they are presenting shows literally the opposite of what they're saying. It is wild to watch it. Like I never watched it the first time around. I caught it through, Turtle Boy and stuff like that. But even then I didn't sit down and watch for 9 hours of Lauren. And I had no idea how completely it is. I mean, she's saying this, and then she shows the evidence, and the evidence is the exact opposite of what she just said. And people are buying it. It is mind-blowing to watch it in action, like the cult aspect of it all, right? And Lauren, for better or for worse, she has the ability to get people to believe her. Tortoise Interference says, Gray is the kid who is mean to the same kids the class bully picks on, including her own friends. It's her way of protecting herself from the bully. Yeah, that could well be true. Thank you very much for the $4.99 super sticker. Appreciate that. Yeah, she's not a nice person. There is nothing. She does not come off to me at all in this as caring. Even that she cares about Lauren. I don't get the impression that she cares about Lauren. I do feel that she's obsessed with Lauren. But obsession is not caring, right? Obsession is about the self. It's not about the other person. And when you lack empathy, you can't truly care about another person, right? So it's no big surprise that we don't get any feeling from her. Janice Ballet Flat says, I just learned that Grayson was reaching out to random trial tourists to see if we had ever talked to them about Lauren or Grayson. During that time period, you mean, Janice? The gems are, right? That's a really great point. Arresting Bitch Face says the gems are the scariest part of it all. They really are, right? I mean, they have these people, right? I mean, it's a microcosm of Trump and his dog whistles that result in, you know, the death of Georgette Heyer and the attack on the Capitol, on the U.S. Capitol, right? There's a huge lot of people out there that are listening and hearing her message, right? I mean, I'm not saying that these people are going to be a mob, but, you know, people showed up at Christina's house. Nobody showed up at Lauren's house. Right? Grant says Grayson has a bad aura. Yeah, she sure does. That's what I'm saying. It's no coincidence that all of the various things that people have said that she reminds them of are creepy people, things, situations, right?
Rolled out. They've seen and understood so much more that they didn't before.
Does that make you feel better? Does that help?
Again, right? She didn't offer any evidence here. Look at that face, right? Look at that. Oh my God, I gotta get a screenshot. She looks incredibly calculating there. Holy smokes. Sorry, just let me get a screenshot of that. I don't want to miss it. God, these people are. They walk among us, people. They walk among us. Where do I want to send it? There we go. Okay, sorry about that. Glam Dolly says these people are pathological narcissists who care about no one but themselves. Grayson, Trisha, John, Trisha, and other YouTube bad actors literally don't care if friends live or die. It's chilling. Yeah. Yeah, she's digging. I think you mean compliments. Yeah, she's digging for more compliments. Yeah, exactly. The gems are as rabid as JLR's followers. Yeah, right. They don't seem able to think for themselves, and the whole these are the facts don't care about your feelings crowd, and yet they're the ones that act that they assume that their feelings, if something makes them feel upset, they assume that the thing is bad without ever thinking back or checking their biases or anything like that, right? So to these people, their feelings are facts.
Yeah, I like to pretend that nobody I know is that. Lauren and I kind of said the same thing. We like to, I like to pretend that like my people at home aren't really watching the videos of me crying and stuff.
Right.
But
she likes to pretend that. Why is she smiling through all of that? Disingenuous bullshit.
I'm grateful that people have rallied around us, and the messages of support have been really overwhelming. And like I said, it's given me a little bit more hope and humanity.
It does. It does.
People care.
Right. It helps you realize there are good people out there. But
there's a, you know what? I mean, that might have been true then, but now it's, Grayson has lost her faith in humanity. She doesn't even want to have kids anymore. And do you know why? It's because there were mothers on the internet talking about her. Mothers, if you can believe it, saying things about GraeBae. I was one of them. I still am. Terrifying. It's terrifying. Barf, yes, barf. I think that sums it up very well. Thank you, Hapinosis. 30 Jewels flower. Appreciate that.
It doesn't take very many bad people to ruin things. And,
yeah.
One thing I mentioned last night, but you haven't heard this, but I want to tell you this. When I had my situation where people were harassing me and bullying me and jumping on the bandwagon when I had that lawsuit against me years ago, the person that wanted web sleuths, and they literally made up lies about me. They put up a website. It was awful. And when the truth came out, that
the first time I went over this video back in the way back in November last year, we didn't know anything. None of us did about the lawsuit. None of us knew about Sue Pruitt. None of us knew about CR and the recorded telephone conversations where Trisha was lying about the about the organ. We didn't know anything about the video depositions from the case and all the lies that Trisha told and all the millions of times she said, I don't know, I can't remember, I can't recall. We didn't know anything about that. I just listened to this part and just like passed over it. No idea what was under that little rug.
All these things I was being accused of weren't true.
Mhm.
I did have many of those people come back and apologize. And there was one person who told me, she said, I'm going to wake up every day and look in the mirror and say, how could you do this? And I'm going to spend every day trying to make it up to you. And I said, you don't need to.
Yeah.
I said, don't do that to yourself. I said, but I do want to know why. Why did you do it? Why did you jump on this bandwagon when there was no proof of all these horrible things they said I was doing? And she said, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't, and they don't know. And I think that soon as that very well could start happening with you and Lauren. They may start coming back and apologizing and just, they don't have a reason why they did it. You know?
Yeah.
They don't.
I know.
They didn't do it, so they don't have to have a reason to not do something. But that won't occur to any of these people. Janice says, since no one was reaching out to them, Grayson was working overtime, texting and calling people. Yeah, I mean, we saw the texts that she sent to Cece Suarez, right? We saw the text that she sent to Christina behind the scenes. Lauren doesn't even know I'm reaching out, trying to pretend that she was just so concerned. She felt so sad about Christina. Never mind that, like, this is after she was fucking sicking the cops on Christina. She just felt so sad. She's a manipulative, lying sack of turds, just like her boss.
Lauren would never hope that people look in the mirror like that every day, and I wouldn't either.
Oh, I didn't.
I
that.
hope that
She just felt so guilty. When she found out the truth, she felt so guilty.
Yeah.
I'm like, don't. Thank you for apologizing. We're even. It's all good. Go ahead, live your life. You know.
But Janice says no one wanted to reach out to Lauren after reading the nice things she had to say about them. Yeah, but even when Liz tried to talk to her, right? People did reach out to her. I mean, most people didn't. I wouldn't think that somebody like Gigi had much time for Lauren before all of this. Why would she want to reach out to her afterwards, right? I mean, there were certainly people that Lauren had snowed, people who were vulnerable. You know, they got their hooks in pretty good with Kay and Larry and Crusha, you know, Aunt Vicky and all those family members of the victims of Lori and Chad. And those people didn't necessarily see it coming, right? But there were other people that, you know, they didn't want to have anything to do with Lauren anyway. So I can't imagine, right? Yeah, right? Like Gigi would want anything to do with Lauren. Oh, she became a grandma. Oh, good for her. That's very awesome. I love babies. Babies are my fave. Dreamscape says, you know what's funny? A defamation suit can include the requirement for the party in the wrong to apologize publicly. I hope that happens. Yeah, wouldn't it be grand? Wouldn't it be grand? I mean, this is why we're still here doing all of this, right? Is because we do want to see some actual consequences for these people, not just a little flash in the pan where they were the interest of a moment and then everybody moves on, right? I really, 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 really would like to see a documentary made about this. And even though I'm not a huge necessarily fan of Netflix, I do feel like it would be poetic justice for these asshats to get their asses handed to them by Netflix, because that is clearly, I mean, we've seen John was on, they both weren't they, or was it just John in the Netflix documentary about Lori? And it seems like that's what they're constantly aiming for, right? To get themselves into those kind of positions where they are the go-to for certain cases, right? She's doing it right now with the Lindsay Clancy thing, right? She is interviewing every fucking buddy. And, you know, I managed to get in touch with Lindsay Clancy's lawyer to warn him about her, but she's going after everybody. And she's getting a lot of interviews. So this is what they're aiming for. And I just think it would be absolutely beautiful to have Netflix hand them their butts, even though, as I say.
But yeah.
But I will say that I think that
I don't know.
I hope everybody who's heard about this can be kinder, can love.
Oh yeah, we're gonna love harder. We're gonna be kinder, just like Grayson is so kind, where she just publicly trashed the very kind dentist who fixed her teeth on layaway for her.
Harder.
Love
can look for signs.
Look for
of this kind of stuff. When you're told something about somebody, maybe just say like, "Do you have proof of that? Is there evidence?"
Yeah, and this is a good lesson for everybody. Just because somebody says it doesn't make it true, and always remember.
Okay, but there was evidence, right? There is evidence. That's what, like, Christina was showing us the evidence. And y'all got all upset about it, right? Y'all got all upset about Christina doing the thing that y'all are fucking doing right here. Yes, it is so maddening. Alex Boogam says, I hate that these idiots have had little to no consequences. Yeah, my little tagline under here, if you can read it, it's going by right now. Consequences are my love language. And I find it very upsetting that these guys haven't had much in the way of consequences. I feel like, you know, I was trying to read Chad Daybell's letters last week on my Sunday night members chat, and I just couldn't read them because they're so, partly because they're so terrible and whatever, but partly because, like, he's in prison now. Like, I don't want to talk about that asshole anymore. I don't care. He's got his consequences. He can go fuck off now. These people haven't had their consequences yet. And that's what I'm interested in, right? That's what motivates me, is people that have not yet faced their consequences. Deanne says, I keep waiting for the next Dr. John hot take. If they convict Lindsay Clancy, I guarantee he will say, yes, she was a psychopath if found not criminally responsible. He'll find a way to back that. It's so hard to listen to them trashing individual people. I haven't been able to watch much of that. Anyway, we're almost done with GraeBae here. I believe that maybe not. It doesn't go on the whole time. I know she leaves before the end of the video.
Remember that no matter what situation you're in, ask to see the proof, and don't take everything at face value. That's how it changed me. And it made me less trusting. Like I told you, it's changed your DNA. It changed my DNA.
So that's interesting, because when we started asking for proof of all the shit that she was saying, she was not happy to show us any proof, right? She was happy to start calling us all liars and, mean girls and stalkers and all the rest of it. If Reddington would commit to a sit-down, that might affect his position as well. I don't know. You're probably right, but I don't think there has not been anything on her channel from Mr. Reddington directly since that day that I emailed him, and he acknowledged receipt of my email. She has not managed to get him to make a comment on anything since then. So I'm going to guess that she didn't stop trying.
Who I was as a person. And every day.
Whatever his reasons might be, I'm just glad that he's not talking to Lauren. She wants the interview with Lindsay, I think, right? She wants the interview with Lindsay, and that's what she's going for.
Yeah, I sobbed like you guys, because I couldn't understand. I knew why it was happening, but it was just hard to grasp that somebody could literally make things up about me to destroy me because they wanted something that I had. And I
right. I mean, these people are just telling straight up lies, right? I mean, like I said, the first time around when I heard this, I didn't know what she was talking about. Maybe she was telling the truth for all I knew. I mean, I knew she seemed like an idiot that couldn't see 2 feet in front of her face, or 2 inches in front of her face. But I had no idea that she was telling straight up lies about someone right alongside Grayson telling straight up lies about someone. I didn't know that was happening. It's interesting to see it now.
Looking back, I don't know how I got through it. I don't know how you guys got through it. You guys have gotten through it, and your integrity is intact, and
Yeah.
you are respected. And I think that you're just going to go on to bigger and better things. I just hope it stops.
I hope so too. I hope.
Oh, shut up, Grayson. God, I'm starting to get bored of listening to Grayson. I'm not sure how much longer I can go on with this. I actually think that it's a bit longer. I think she's still on. Yeah, she is. It goes on for like another half an hour. I might have to do a part 4. I'm getting my fill of Grayson at this moment. Yeah, Grant says, I tried to watch them before any of this happened and found them boring. Even people she interviewed, she didn't ask them anything interesting. No, Trisha's terrible. She's a terrible interviewer. She doesn't ask questions. She likes it when Megan, people like Megan come on her show, because Megan likes to monologue, right? Megan has a fucking goal, and she comes on there to say her piece. And that's what Trisha wants, right? Remember when she had that terrible woman who wrote that book about the dogs that killed that person? Dogs of War. What was her name? Aphrodite Jones. She's another one, right? Trisha loves that shit. These people come on and they've got their egos are so fucking big. They'll do all the work while she sits there doing online gambling or whatever the hell she's doing, right? While people are talking. She very seldom asks any kind of question, never mind one that might be probing or insightful or, draw the guest out. She's terrible at it. Yeah, her verbatim telling of the 911. I can't watch it, right? I can't watch Lauren carry on like that. I just can't watch her exploiting people like that. I find it really upsetting. I can barely manage it when you guys are around, but Aphrodite Jones is awful. I agree, Maury. She was so gross. Her and Lauren on the web sleuths together was something. What's been less than a week and it's still a sore subject? What's happening, expert of all? Is everything okay? Hope everything's okay. I'm going back in the chat trying to find out, but I'm not seeing it. LOL, sorry for my name. It changed when YouTube changed all our handles. Unfortunately, I share a name with one of these grifters. Alex Boogum. It's okay. I like your name. Made me laugh. Boogum. I was saying Boo Earns. Oh, you lost your bid for re-election. Oh, I'm sorry. That's too bad. What were you running for election for? If you want to share. It was extremely funny. Yes. Watching Lauren try to come up with a question for Aphrodite Jones was great. It was awesome. Trisha was trying to pass the buck to Lauren because she hasn't got anything to offer. She hasn't got anything to say. So she was like, oh, Lauren's the investigative journalist. She's just, her and Aphrodite Jones are basically the same person. And then Lauren couldn't even come up with a single intelligible question. All she could do was go, oh, wow, like, you're so famous. You're so famous. Like, look at how famous. You're famous. What can I say? I mean, you're famous. County coroner, 8 years, just poof, gone, done. Oh, I'm so sorry, expert of all. County coroner. Wow. That's very disappointing. I'm so sorry to hear that. It's going to take you a little minute to digest that, I expect. I hope you'll give yourself some grace. And 8 years. That's a significant amount of service to your county. So I'm sorry to hear that. I'm sure that must be a bit of a tough pill to swallow. Yes, Aphrodite Jones, the queen of true crime. So she says, yeah, I mean, this is why it's like I was not a true crime fan for most of my life and didn't really pay attention to it. It was actually the Amber Heard and Johnny Depp thing that got me to watch a trial first. But it was people like Aphrodite Jones, that sensationalist kind of stuff that just turned me off, right? Maurice says Lauren and Aphrodite Jones were looking for clicks around a dog-human act that was so tangential to the actual case. They were looking for clicks in the most desperate way possible. They were just, yeah, the whole thing was gross. And Lauren was off of her face, as far as I can tell. She just seemed absolutely wasted. She could barely listen. She could barely even pretend to be interested. I know she has a terrible, she has a terrible time trying to look interested when John's talking. So that's not exactly news, but. Yeah. Oh yeah, there's my that's my reminder reminding me to do stuff. Sorry. So yeah, I think I'm going to call it a day. 6 o'clock. I've been talking for 2 hours about little GraeBae here. I'm going to see if I can get a hold of those documents about the TRO that her brother had taken out against that woman. See if I can find out any more about that. It's kind of tangential, but still, it's in light of everything. It's interesting that a family member of Grayson's was using the same vehicle a year after Grayson was involved in the same thing. So, yeah. Yeah, I think that's it. I'm going to let y'all have a little look at apples again before we go for a minute, so you don't have to have your last impression be that of those women. HMS Gen X lady, always an interesting discussion. Thanks you, Penny and chat. Yeah, well, we have the best chat over here. All the people are so smart and insightful. And oh, your friend's sister was the animal control officer who responded to the dog mauling case. Oh, God, how awful. I hope that your friend's sister is okay. What a horrible thing to have to experience. Yeah, there's my little bubby. My little bubby. So yeah, it's, what day is it? It's Sunday. Oh yeah, so book club tomorrow for people who are in book club. I don't think I've put up the thumbnail yet, but I will be doing book club at 4 o'clock Pacific tomorrow, carrying on with The Good Soldier by Ford Maddox Ford. And then I've got another, Lauren. Oh no, I got another Trisha one. I want to go over the woo-woo Saturday night video again. And then after that, I'm back to Lauren. So thank all y'all for coming. I will look forward to seeing everybody next time. And I hope y'all have a beautiful, happy Sunday night and a nice start to your week tomorrow. So I shall love you and leave you until then. Please hit the like button on the way out. And thank you guys for all your kind support today. Really appreciate all of that.